As promised, we are back with an expert interview with Mr. Bruce Glenn, house appraiser extraordinaire, house flipper, flipping Bruce, house flipper extraordinaire. Bruce, tell everybody what your bread and butter is. What are you best at in real estate?
All right, so real estate appraising is my first thing. That's what I've been doing for 30 years. So that's kind of my bread and butter, but I flip houses and been doing that for 35 years. So, I probably make as much money or more money flipping houses as I do. But that's
probably. Is it that close?
Well, it didn't used to be, but yeah, actually, it's going to be a little bit more.
Man, so Bruce, you're the guy, and we talked about Antonio, just talked about how your network is your net worth. He called upon you, helped fix an appraisal for him, appraisal issues. A lot of folks in our mastermind call on you to help them with appraisal issues. What do you use this network and this mastermind for? Do you ever call on people, and what do you call on them for?
Yeah, probably Matthew's who I, call the most. When I wanted to scale up, I was doing like maybe 2 or 3 houses a year flipping, and I was like thinking about, let's just step it up a bit. So I called Matthew and he said, come ride with me, and so I just spent 8 hours in the truck with him, going from house to house and just picking up tips. So that was probably one of the biggest things. But then I got money people in the group that I talked to. I'm having lunch with one of them next week. So, I get a lot. I get a lot from different people. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, Bruce, I talk a lot about networking. I think networking is one of the keys to real estate. What does that word networking mean to you?
And it's just what I was just telling Matthew. He was talking about what advice to new investors. And, I tell him get to the REI meetings. Because you need to be around people that are doing it. And I teach, I've got my Flip and Bruce class. I tell them all, you got to join REI. You got to be down there and be around people that are doing it. And, and that's what, I've been doing it for a long time, but me getting out there and meeting new people, meeting wholesalers, money people, it's important. It's just, you need to do it to be successful.
Can you think of an example of where your network has become your net worth? Like literally turned into money?
Yeah, I do it on a small scale like what Matthew does as realtors. I've got, I might have 10 or 12, 15 realtors that know me and will call me when something comes up. They've got a client that's got something really run down. And, hey, they know I'll buy it, and that has turned into a huge thing. If the realtor brings it to me, then I give it to them to list. But I've made a lot of money from my relationships with realtors. Yeah.
Bruce, and what's the website? What's the Flip and Bruce? How can people find out more about your coaching?
Flipandbruce.com. Just check us out. We got Zoom calls every week and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
Flipandbruce.com. Bruce is the man, one of the biggest go-givers I know of right here in our Birmingham market. I appreciate you being a part of our mastermind.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Hey, stay tuned. Bruce just mentioned Matthew Gregory. We're going to do an interview with him next.